What's up, guys? Look at who I got here with me live and in person. It's been a bit. He's frozen. Is your computer frozen? Wait, it's not a computer.
Oh, sorry,
Weird.
I'm here, right.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us today. This is going to be from now on, hopefully, a new format.
Yeah.
We'll be together again.
Ideally.
Yes, ideally. This is going to be a good one. We're going to keep the intro kind of short. And that's my word, by the way. You can use that. We're gonna get the guys that are backstage up here as quickly as possible.
You're never going to believe who we're going to have on this stream. It's going to be wild. You'll never guess. It's not relevant to the event we went to. Nothing of that nature.
I put it in the caption.
You ruin everything.
I know. I'm the worst.
God,
Ask my
come
parents.
on.
Ask my parents. They'll tell you. Did I make it real? Oh, no way. Oh god.
Oh, hey, did you mute your notifications?
Yeah, well,
I did.
It was Carrie. You can't mute that one.
Forgo the family. It is time for airsoft.
Who cares? What's going on, Paul? How are you, buddy?
Oh man.
All right.
Red Fox.
So we're gonna do the like I said before, we're gonna do the short form of the intro.
Yes.
We're gonna get you guys in and running, get your questions ready and answered. I know some of you that attended it have a whole bunch of things to say and ask. Those that didn't attend it, you get to ask what you missed. And that's exactly what this is going to be all about. Because I got to tell you, you missed a lot.
It's one of those awesome situations where a company made something you didn't know you needed.
Yes.
Which I was thoroughly impressed with. I did not know I needed this format of Milsim, and I'm beyond pleased.
It was fantastic. Snake, and there's one of the men we can thank right there.
Oh, as always, Nick, you logistical master.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you so much. The event was absolutely fantastic. That's the.
I see you. The private jet just came up, and I was like, I'm going to respond. Wait a second. He's going to be in here. Yeah. Chris.
There he goes. That's Werewolf right there.
Yes.
He was responding to the wrong chat. He was saying "sup fellas" and he responded to the wrong one.
You know, you outed him.
That's okay. It's all right. He doesn't mind. That's what he gets for being so tall.
Really? We're gonna go there?
Rubbing it in my face.
Man, our word, tall people. What is this?
Hey,
you're creating pejorative terms right now.
But they took to it really well during the.
Oh no! Don't do it.
All right, you know what? Well, like I said, short form. We're gonna get right to it. You've got. You've got.
Oh my gosh!
You got these guys. They're killing me. You've got
I bet I do. What do I got?
You got a couple of upcoming events, correct?
What?
All right.
I don't, but other people.
We're gonna go ahead and let you.
Okay, I'm gonna prattle these out real quick.
I'm gonna move out of the way here so you can actually do it. Ready?
Yes.
There you go.
So upcoming events. It's my stream now. Upcoming events are as follows. So a double buck weekend in February, the 21st to the 23rd of February. First off, Thunderdome 6. They're opening up the outside of the mall.
Outside.
It's going to be fantastic. Shout out to our boy Kevin Crisper Walker of the ubiquitous Operation Lion Claws. So this is in the Northgate Mall, the 6th installment of Thunderdome in Durham, North Carolina.
Supposedly the last one.
So, hey, this is only the 4th time that it's the last one.
It's been the last one four times, yes.
I can't wait for the 7th last one. It's going to be a famously good time, force-on-force action. This is like the Grand Canyon of airsoft events. You go see it, you go, there it is.
Yeah.
Everybody drives by a mall and they go, God, I wish I could play in it. Well, shut up and go.
Yeah.
I would say get a ticket, but everybody got the memo and it is sold out.
Yes.
So fantastic.
Anything about the extra? Look at it. As soon as you said anything about the extra ticket spaces,
I have crushed your dreams.
I would say spam Kevin Crisper Walker as much as you possibly can. Ask for extra tickets.
Send him mail.
He
send him carrier
when
pigeons.
you get spam.
Yes,
absolutely.
Send him memes without context.
Yeah, if you have access to pigeons, send those.
Send those smoke signals, but underneath his house.
Yes.
The works. Thunderdome 6.
And?
Well,
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was.
Listen here, the Sun Center.
I tried to get
everything
get
revolving.
Out of the way. See, I tried to get out of the way.
Listen.
To make it all about you.
And speaking of awesome events, and this is the double booked weekend, Mind Game Productions is proud to present Flames of the Rebellion 3 at the DV8 field in Lithia, Florida. More of a local game. This is a Star Wars themed alt sim. And why do I say alt sim instead of LARP or mil sim? There is LARP with airsoft. So it's not airsoft with LARP. It is primarily people dressing
Whole
up.
new category. Thanks for confusing people.
Mac hates the term alt sim, so I love saying it. Love you, Mac. Please don't hurt me. So it is a Star Wars themed event at Deviate in Lithia, Florida. It is fantastic. It is a 4-way factional roleplay battle extraordinaire. I'm running the Scum and Villainy faction, Black Sun, Rebels, Empire, Mandalorians. They have adopted the Galactic Civil War rule set. It is an Eastern Seaboard and Midwestern alliance of fields having awesome games. But enough about that. It's going to be fantastic. Follow Mind Game Productions for the rules and, more importantly, for the tickets. Pre-registration, you get a discount. It will be fantastic.
By the way, Jax, just for you, because you said it, that's for you. That is not even a heart. I don't know what that. There it is. I knew we could get it. That's for you, Jax.
I just lost 3 man points. Anyway, so
I never had any.
Moving right along, this will be the last shout out, and I'm not even going to say much about it because we're going to have the
We'll let them
authority
we'll let
on
him
it.
talk about it all on his own. Yep.
Yes. So March 28th to the 30th.
I'm excited.
Baby. It's Stonebreaker 11.
That's my second Stonebreaker.
Stonebreaker 11 in Barnwell, South Carolina at the GTI AO. Awesome AO. It has a decommissioned nuclear processing plant. It is on a sprawling ground with awesome geography. I've played there on a technical and on foot. It's fantastic. I'm not even going to go into details about that.
Yeah.
Tickets are on Third Coast. Follow them on all social media platforms that they're on for more details. Let's just cut it right there. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes.
And with that in mind, here we go, guys. Let's bring them in. There we go.
Woo!
Get them all in.
Uh-oh, I'm frozen.
All right.
He's still stuck.
And is Ken awake? I want to make sure.
No, I'm here.
Might have to do the refresh
That's
again.
his avatar. Yeah, we're going to
Give this
refresh
man
it
a
again.
blanket.
Stand by.
Unless we lost him. Either way.
That's his life-size body replicant.
There's our banana right there. we're going to see you there.
Oh, no.
No, Ken will be right back. He just had to refresh.
I weep tears
Yep,
of loss.
He will be there. It's also easy to get lost on. Yeah, GTI. That was if there's and I don't want to say a problem with it because it's not. There are some stretches of land. If your legs aren't long enough, it's a very long stretch of land.
I hope you've hit the Stairmaster because you're not going to win that engagement.
So, yeah, and every year it's different.
There we go.
Every year we shape the terrain differently. But we'll talk about that because it goes back to Iron Fury.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Yes. So that's what we're here to talk about. So
we're so excited we can barely get it out.
Some introductions do or don't need to be made. Actually, hang on. It's a little warm in here. I gotta take my shirt off. Let me take this shirt off here.
Kaylee would be so proud.
I'm just saying, be that guy that wears the concert tee to the concert you're going to. That's me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Baby, right there.
There you go.
Yep. There is a back, but I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna do that.
Please, that's $20. This is the free version.
I actually started doing it like the fanboy I am. Every event we go to, I'm buying it. I get a shirt now.
We'll see. At least we'll sell one shirt every event then, because
Yeah, but mine say Oshkosh on the back of them. I'm not sure why you had to go to Garanimals to make my shirts, but it's okay. So
money
shot. So
okay.
So we've got we got this guy right here. Should need no introduction at all.
If he does, where have you been all this time?
Yeah. So
we get that a lot.
Owner, creator, just all around TCA
overlord.
Yeah.
they let me be in charge. One of the owners of Third Coast Airsoft. There you go.
Respect.
Yes.
Chief of staff.
I don't know that I've met any of the others, so
you have. You just didn't know it.
I just didn't know it. Okay.
Greg,
right.
They're a shadowy cabal that control Sal. Quiet with that.
Yes.
So and the fine gentlemen below us,
yes.
Who are very much above us, indeed. Your commanding officers for Eastern and Western. Gentlemen, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, if you say a word or two.
Werewolf.
You're being given the honors.
Right on. Werewolf Team FMF, Eastern Imperial 6.
He's just what a color man he is. Just fantastic.
That was like what a college football.
That was
John
great.
McQuavis, defensive left, North Carolina State.
third
100 yards rushing average.
Yeah.
Every game.
Easy enough, right?
Yep.
round pick.
This is why we like Werewolf. He's the front man
There you
himself.
go, yep.
Yeah.
Ken, by all
Yeah.
means, you can stop that.
Absolutely. Norseman, otherwise known as Liberty 6 for Western Coalition Forces. It's been an honor to be here. Thanks for
There you
inviting
go.
me.
Hey,
Long-time battle staff in
Yeah.
Western Coalition.
My God, I always forget. I have to go back and think about it. Dragon Rogue, first Dragon Rogue. That's since then.
So that
So we're here for Iron Fury 2.
Yes.
Which is my first Iron Fury, and at a brand new AO to Airsoft as a whole. I'm
Yes.
not going to say much more. I'm going to leave that to you to open it up with.
Okay, so Hibernia State Park, North Carolina. First time ever I think anybody's ever had an entire state park for an airsoft event. Yeah, so epic location. Try to give the wave tops here, and then we can dive into each phase. Tier 1, Friday night, amphibious operations, Operation Trite. We'll talk about that later. The game on Saturday was broken down into a force-on-force and a unconventional Robin Sage-esque western side of the AO. And then Sunday, the whole field was used for the force-on-force. And so lots of action. But I think my guys were like, we did an event. We did 2 events in one, and we'll get to that. And that was a big, big success on our part, because Toucan said it best earlier. Something that you didn't think you needed that you got. So take it away.
We can start adding that. So
Oh yeah.
How so I guess I mean people in the comments are saying stuff already. We talked about the whole ride home. And that was a hell of a ride.
It was the most ride ever had.
It was there was between the AO, between the gameplay, the AO, there was additional bonding that happened within our team alone. I mean, I'm just talking to the DEO staff. We got closer as a result of this. The gameplay, I didn't hear a single person around me, as cold as it was, complain about the cold. Because there was constant movement.
Yeah.
It wasn't an issue, not nearly as much as we thought it was going to be. And it just made it all that much more fun.
The geography lent itself so much to feeling like you were a part of a bigger battlescape. If I'm at Ray Point, not the type of waypoint. If I'm at Ray Point, I have guys at Point Davy asking for support to the power pole tree lines, and those are all 3 separate engagements on a continuous front all the way across the park. That was the terrain lent itself to vehicle play, individual squad play, platoon play. It really did feel like a zone of contested combat. Hardly any downtime, and if there was, you walked in the wrong direction.
And that
the geography lent itself.
And that's just in the main force on force.
Yeah.
And then the boats. We didn't get.
Yeah. We're gonna
get there.
We'll get there. But
I mean, the overview was this, guys. State National Park, laid out with multiple. It was fingers is how it was. Multiple peninsulas, beach landings, all that, and TCA took advantage of that by providing boats for that, letting up to 11 players at a time on a boat to actually do beach landings.
Those were wild.
Infills and exfills right there.
Yeah.
Had a rule set built around it that really, really worked. So nobody got hurt. And the gameplay lent itself to it.
You'd be in one peninsula duking it out, and then you look over to your left, and on the other peninsula, you see 2, 40 on 40 also duking it out on a peninsula. I mean,
you could see across and watch a fight happen. You couldn't do anything about it.
You couldn't do anything.
But you could watch a fight happening all the way across. And it was really cool to see.
Oh my gosh.
So
The boat play. Oh, I can't wait to get to that. my
there's a
gosh.
lot of great to say. So, gentlemen, do you guys have anything positive first? I guess I want to sandwich it with positives, so we'll come to any if there were any negatives. But
I had to really think about the negatives.
yeah,
to be super honest.
anything that anything positive? Anything you guys got to say?
Oh
Anything
yeah,
at all?
I got positives. It was the most. Now, granted, this is only my 4th TCA game, but hats off
first
to
commanding.
first commanding. Yep, kind of fell into it. Our illustrious previous 6, Jack Branch, aka Magnus, he had some issues come up at the last second and tapped me to fill in for him, and I hope I did the
Fantastic
Empire
job,
proud
by the
by serving the name of the Emperor gloriously.
Be stirred, be stirred, be
Yeah.
stirred. Yeah.
So it kind of pleased me to bring it home for for Jack and the rest of the Imperial guys and kind of break that Western streak.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Let's see. Western had taken Crossbones by a very narrow majority. Starburst was a good fight. They brought that one home. That was actually me versus Mendoza. That was a lot of fun. And then going to Sirius Viking and watching that, and it was just like, okay, guys, what's Eastern? The thread is Western had the sickness of, Eastern had the underdog story going into this one. Western had the disease of victory, and so going into it, Archer, you were down by 42 players. The official count.
Yeah. I think it ended up counting 172 for Eastern and 122 for us. It was a little closer to 50.
And then by check-in numbers, you were 42 light.
Got you that.
Yeah. So,
which will always have the asterisk on my first command. It'd be one thing if I won when I was down by 42. It's another thing to win when you're up by 42. So,
but they did get the personnel back on Sunday, which was interesting. We'll talk that story here in a minute.
Okay.
But Archer, what going into this thing, man? What were your thoughts on the planning?
Planning on this was for me, it was like I was getting with my staff. We were all talking quite a bit about it, and we're like, hey, we want to try to come up with the ability to kind of stop a flow. But we also knew we had to watch our backs at all times. We needed to be able to, we knew where the drops was going to be. So we were like, okay, we're going to drop in these locations, but we're going to focus outward in a different location. And we kind of did that. We kind of started to, and we started to see that success start to form. So the initial one was just us trying to make sure that we could form a line and then focus on that line. And that was our first phase.
Eastern, Imperial 6, listening to your command meeting, I think you had a great. We talked about PIRs and decision points. We were just jamming on your planning process. But what was your opening concerns? I knew what your concerns were going in the planning phase, but when it kicked off, Imperial 6, man, what was in your brain housing group right there at StartX?
I had 2 huge concerns. One for the North, putting Kazo province aside, because that's its own little game within a game. Mm-hmm. For the main part of the peninsula, I had 2 main concerns, and that was, what was my Northern task force going to encounter being 10 feet from their AA? And how much was Western just going to beat them? So I was a little worried about their logistics and how long they were going to survive that onslaught. And my other concern was down south, which was my Southern task force, how saturated was the Southern Peninsula going to get, and how quickly was it going to get saturated? I think the key down there was to saturate it faster than Western could. And that was my main concern. And Papa was my Southern task force commander. And he actually did a good job. I was a little worried at first, not about Papa's skills, but about the just the logistics of the whole thing, because it was a big piece of land. It was quick to get in and out, and the boats. the boats were a big unknown. So there was a lot of question marks going into the southern part of the AO. And I presented those decision points just like you were mentoring me to do, and to both Bauer, the Northern Task Force Commander, and Papa, the Southern Task Force Commander. And I gave them decision points, almost like those old choose your own adventure books. Hey man, if you run up against the wall, turn to page 3. If if it's smooth sailing, turn to page 62. And I think that really worked out well. It translated well from the pre-planning phase, and these boys executed flawlessly, I think.
What I didn't see in the opening round, because I was not there, I was down in Casaville, making sure that was kicking off well, was how did you use the boats in the opening phase?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing we did was take a bunch of legs that were in the wrong uniform for airborne, who could not participate in the drop around the horn and up to reinforce their home airborne unit and get them cooking up there. That was the very first thing. The other 2 boats just kind of maintained position and were available for. I didn't want to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks, right at the horn. I kind of wanted to hold something back to see, as a reaction to see what Archer was going to do, and until we made those decisions in the south.
And then opening round boats, Archer, just curious. I didn't get to see it. I didn't get over there until about an hour in.
We actually had a couple different ideas on that one. And at the opening round, we kind of held back on the boats. We had Ripper kind of got pre-dropped. So we originally thought, okay, well, we could drop you guys instead, try to do something else, but they're pre-dropping early. So we didn't want to have any issues with that. So what we did is we grabbed a different group and we thought, we'll hold on it for a minute, see we were basically seeing what Werewolf's going to do, see what the Eastern's going to, kind of accomplish on that first run. And when we started hearing certain things, like we knew where your boat was coming around to Dawsville, we're like, oh crap. Okay. So this is what we want to do. And we already had units trying to pile in over there towards Ivar and all that. And of course, that's what your fear was pretty much what we were thinking. Is send them over that way. And the boats didn't really get active until a little bit later, and we sent them out further east.
So, Mother Nature threw us a big twist too, because the boats kind of became, I'm not going to say
they weren't pivotal per se.
Secondary, they became non-pivotal just because the water level was so low, and in typical military fashion. The intel that you get 2 weeks prior is not the intel that you find out when you walk on the scene.
So from the tier 1 the night before to the morning of, the lake dropped another 8 inches.
Yep. So
like one of the boat captains, when he was going to go move his boat that morning, he had to get it pushed off with a UTV because his boat was sitting on mud. So that was interesting. Chaos, Task Force Commander. Papa, opening piece, bro, like what did you thinking?
So one of the first things Wolf said, which was really cool, this was for us, this was Operation Step Up, by the way, because Wolf reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to be task force? I'm like, what now? I'm like, I'm good chaos. He's like, you want to be? I'm like, sure. If you guys need it, sure, let's do it. What's that? I'm like, yes. What's it entail? He's like, oh no, you just got 3 companies now. I'm like, what? So I'm like,
I wouldn't have asked if I didn't have faith.
What's the worst that could happen? And then and then Jack, had to step aside and we'll stand up for him. So now we've got this whole leadership shift, and God bless everybody in command. Took it in stride, and I feel we all did a great job. Everybody helping everybody else. One of my favorite things about doing what we do is just standing next to each other and helping each other, move forward.
I'm going to say something bold. From the squad level, seemed like command was organized.
A little bit.
That was weird. I asked command something, and then I'd go up the chain and come back down, and I would get an answer. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Go figure.
Yeah.
I've been accused of a lot of things in my life. Being disorganized has never been one of them.
So for the crew, the casting crew that don't know it, each side is organized like a brigade. And so inside that brigade, you have 9 units now. I can't believe we're at 9 now. So you've got a special group, or the Chase Sodif, and then you've got 4 line companies.
Again, oh man, stand by.
You know, yeah. So you got 4 line companies, and I'm not gonna say what side did it first, but they did something rather awesome. They created temporary 2 company and 3 company battalions. And boy, major shout out to that side that figured that out before the other side did, and rewrote their maneuver doctrine. So that's some upper level battlefield calculus math that's just awesome to see players do. And then watch it actually work on the field. You know, hearing the one gripe I got, oh, my leaders never found me. Well, dude, you got to go find your leaders.
Yeah, no, it's first of all, it's from a leadership standpoint, it's not our job to find. It's stay in communication. Have your leadership stay in communication with the next leadership, and they'll pass it down to you.
It was posted everywhere. We can lead them to water. We can't make them drink.
No,
Yeah,
But you were like the Macy's Day Parade driving around in the FUPA. I couldn't avoid you.
To answer your question, Z, and for everybody else, if you're in, and again, I'm talking about airsoft, but not necessarily real life. But if you're in a command position, you're being asked something. Wolf, Z, you were there when this happened. Wolf had an idea for what he was wanting the task force to do, and I had come in late, so I had my own idea, and I expressed to him, "Here's how I felt about it," and we went back and forth. And bless you, you're like, "Look, you're all right. You're in charge. Take your guys, do what you think you got to do," and I appreciated that. My point is, giving pushback is not bad, because if you've got an idea, you've got a different perspective, share it. That's the only way it's going to, he's worried about both task force. He's worried about the entire battle plan. Maybe I see something different. Maybe I'm concentrating on different. Maybe I know my force is different than he knows them. I have to say something.
Especially when you're not, what we call that out of contact, you have time to have those discussions and conversations. Because once you're in contact, it's a whole lot of, hey, sir, I got an idea. No, man,
No.
just go. Like even
you see
Werewolf's
stuff.
beard's telling you to fuck off. Go, so yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the initial push went very well. I know Davey, we got up to Davey, and we did pretty well there. I ended up being in FUPA the entire time and using it as a mobile command. He brought Jax was fantastic. We went point to point to point to point. I was always in even when I wasn't in radio communication, I was always in communication with somebody. Anytime we went back to the talk, did the loop, and it was like, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? And I'm out. Yeah. And we just back to the next. I really felt like even when there was a lull in actual communication, there was enough information. Our guys all knew what their mission was enough to keep pushing forward till they got the next alert.
And then among the OCs on the field, we counted, and this is just our count, we counted 27 vehicles on both sides killed. That was just we know there was more than that, but just among the observer OCs on the field, the fire markers, we counted 27. There'd be at least 27 vehicles burning on the field. And we know that there's probably three times that number because you guys, both sides were just stopping vehicles in their tracks. I mean, it was awesome.
From the tag and launchers, there was another guy with an M79 log. I mean, people were throwing grenades like the U.S. funded each side. It was awesome.
I don't think
RPG was launching. What's the name of this 18-4? Good
18-4
Lord,
was
man.
awesome. Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
To a TCA event where there was a better utilization of troop versus technicals.
Yeah.
Normally, it's AJ6 comes through sweeping the woods, and we all just run for our lives.
His gunner got painted orange.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, Mike Melton got painted orange on Bumblebee, so he got hit hard. I mean, right in the face, man. He was totally orange, as you guys saw at the.
It looked like a war boy.
Drones. It was amazing. Yes, we had the drones up, but I don't think the drone. It was one of those times when that tree cover, man, really just getting people off roads, getting people out of the open. Hey, man, get in the tree line. We saw some great video of guys using an actual trench line, an actual piece of terrain, and they were just holding one of the routes down real well.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I did.
That was you guys?
Yeah, a couple
So-
times. I ran by Sal once with a tube, and I think I yelled, "I'm a fucking kill back." So good.
So weather, I think we got really lucky with the
it's
weather.
hard
For people to say it was cold, I was like, guys, it was a dry cold.
Yeah, it was good.
Humidity was
comfortable.
great. On Tuesday, when I was still in North Carolina, the humidity kicked up, and that wind was blowing through you. But yeah, man, Sunday, man, that fog rolled in, and it just looked awesome.
I can't say how many people came up to me on Western and they're like, dude, did they just launch that much smoke? And I go, no, it's fog, dude. It's fog. I was like, they're like,
This is a straight
oh, okay, we'll
smoke.
use that as cover. And then off they went.
And they did.
Yeah.
You know, Recondo, big success stories here. Recondo over on
ASG.
Eastern,
my
ASG over on Western, and any unit that was willing to take an indirect route to get to where they needed to go. But I think I went over and I talked to Sam over at AJ6. I was like, let me talk to you about tree weaving with your Humvee. Get off the road. Bobby, you have a UTV, get off the road, you know. And
yeah,
all of a
she
sudden
did.
they're like, we can do that. I'm like, yeah, you can do that.
Her and both vehicles actually rolled off it got all the way down to that cross. What is it called down there? Down there in the
Crown Point.
Yeah, Crown Point. They made it down to Crown Point and then started working around a different path.
Yeah.
So,
and then you know, Eastern, the two vehicles, Mark Sirens and his truck, the FUPA. I was very nervous about them having only 2 VICs and the other side having 4 VICs. But man, you wouldn't have known it. You wouldn't have known that Eastern was down VICs.
and we were down. I think we were basically 3 VICs because we had Shockwave, Bumblebee, and AJ6.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, Shockwave, Bumblebee.
Yeah.
You had 3 VICs. You're right. 2 UTVs and the gun truck.
Also, too, every time we see a vehicle come down the road, if we had an element available, we would go, here's a vehicle, push with a vehicle. So we would do infantry support with the vehicle to do push, which was perfect. So like exactly what Sal's saying, we really, in terms of like balancing out our Eastern using the VICs with infantry support, you literally couldn't tell. It was so great.
I got to say this, and I'm going to stop and I want to get Wolf's point on something, but Jackson and I noticed something, and every time we were dead, we weren't allowed to say it, but we wanted to be able to yell. If you come across a vehicle that's hit, it's not hard to cover. And use that vehicle as cover to engage. We would be stopped in the middle, get shot, we're dead, sitting right there. And I'm watching guys all the way over here. They can't make their way over here, and all they would have to do is just come up and hide behind Koopa. They absolutely could have. They could have used them. And so I'm saying it now. Reference. Anybody watching this, you use a dead tech for it not moving. Don't worry about it moving. They're ready to move. So get behind. Seriously.
The latest comment.
Which one? This one here?
They're right there. I left.
Oh no.
But we're kind of derailing the points everyone's making. Sorry, gentlemen.
But
again, we could talk about how great this was forever. But
so after the first 90 minutes, which is where things tend to either fall apart or come together, how do you guys feel it went?
Let's see. From the staff point of view, before I threw my radio at somebody, it was supposed to be a hasty defense. You know, again, reading is hard for some folks. They need to bring back Hooked on Phonics. Maybe there'll be an app for that. Yeah, Werewolf. Yeah. We noticed people taking that imaginary lunch right around 1300, 1330. They hit that wall early. We saw both sides taking a walk. More one side than the other. Hey, I got to walk back. I got to get ammo. Okay, great. There was a moment that was supposed to be a tactical hasty defense where you go to ground and you hold what you got.
Not a Posex.
Not a Posex.
Not at
And they were
all.
like, well, I got to step off and go take a shit. Okay, great.
Excuses,
You know,
excuses.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Roger. And you want an Iron Dagger, you want an Iron Fury until you get one. And then you
Yep.
go, damn, I'm not ready for this.
Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit.
Exactly.
And
Though we did manage to send, so we started sending people out, man. I was like, go get this, go get that, go over there,
Yeah.
probe there, do this. And then all
Yeah, and-
of a sudden we started seeing some positives coming out of it.
yeah. And Eastern recovered pretty quick. But yeah, that imaginary lunchtime, man, boy.
Yeah, that really chapped my ass because it felt like half of the Eastern forces just made a hard right.
Yeah.
Like
Left, exit stage
it was,
left.
exactly. It was just like, all right, we're going to pause in place, refit. I'll handle the medic bags or whatever. We'll get it done with the vehicles. And like I turn around and everybody's gone. Everybody on the radio. Nobody. I'm watching Aries Alpha and it's just green going off into the LSA. I'm like, really?
We had a guy come in. He goes, dude, I just saw a bunch of green leaving the field. They were yelling index and they were walking away. And there was like 20 of them, 30 of them or something.
People need to stop
And I was
using
like,
these
"What?"
terms. They don't know what they mean.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't have
There was definitely some confusion. I heard some people say
they
to
shouldn't have
us
been yelling it. And I said,
about-
nope, it's not index. Go back out there and take that objective. And those guys went, we can do that. Boom. They were gone. So
Yeah. But and I got it. A lot of first timers at the raffle were like, who here is first time TC8? We're like, oh wow.
yeah,
And you picked this one.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
all of
Glad
that.
we didn't do an Iron Dagger. So, folks, and that's just the conventional side of things. The guys who did the commandos and soft guys that did the unconventional fight down in Cazo, Red Fox, read the op order. Yeah, read it twice. Make it, the guys who did the unconventional stuff over in Cazo started the day having to infill down a road with militia man checkpoints, and they had to lie, cheat, deny, steal their way, bribe down their way down those checkpoints.
There was some good stuff.
They had a good time. It was something different. We've never done that before in a Third Coast game. So to have that unconventional warfare zone going was pretty good. And then towards the end of the daytime, it was Eastern.
Mhm.
You got to do a relief convoy over to your guys in Castleville. And both the FUPA and Mark's truck had to fight their way over to that part of the AO. They got stopped a few times. And then they made it to that AO, and, IEDs are real, man. I mean, like,
There were some straight up
Shit.
6 lanes going on down in Cazo province.
yeah, there sure was. And when people ask me, well, how'd the event end? I'm like, yeah, we'll get to that. That ambush was really interesting watching it go down. So yeah, I think Jack said we had no idea what POSIX meant. Yeah.
Yeah. That was,
Somebody yelled index. I'm like, dude, that's for Sunday. You don't ever say index on the net. Somebody else does.
We probably need to
yeah.
go over the terms while everybody's watching.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
Stardex is the beginning, Index is the end,
yes.
POSIX is
POSIX.
the end of Saturday.
Yeah. POSIX is the end of Saturday. Thank you.
There you go.
But yeah. I like that, Justin. What motion to issue Chaos Company C-Rats? Yeah.
C-Rats.
Picking it back up, night
T-Rats.
fighting. I think was interesting because you had a lot of guys that were like, I don't have nods. I'm like, okay, great. You get out there anyway, man. There was enough light out there to be.
There was definitely, you could see quite a bit as long as you were away from any other light sources. It was pretty good.
So, I think Imperial 6. You had your Operation Doberman. You tied 2 mag lights to dogs and let them loose in the AO, and that really confused the shit out of people. I mean, airsofters, white lights,
Yeah, right.
Hey, man, if everybody doesn't have night vision, then neither does anybody else.
There you go. Fair.
It's all
the
part
truth.
of the plan.
All the truth.
It
works
calling
on
in
me.
flares, guys get using that flare. I think we expended probably maybe $1,000 worth in flares, ground flares. So that
is
was
awesome.
Yeah, that was something. I want to see if we got any video because
At that point, it's not experience; it's an investment.
it's an investment. But major thanks to Mark and Stephanie over on the Go for that one.
Froze again.
Um,
No, Justin, no spam. I'll be right back.
So Sunday kicks off, and everybody who is guerrilla fighters and 13th soft go roll with Western. And a werewolf. I mean, you knew your night phase was good. You had a good starting point for Sunday. Down, you didn't get Casaville, but what were you thinking as you were going into Sunday, man?
I made it quite clear to you about midnight on Saturday what I was thinking, but I apologize for that. That was a lack of patience and sleep and hunger and all the rest of it.
I know.
Pretty hangry, but
I know.
I've
been there.
But for the general public, I was pleased. It's nice to plan for A. This was the same thing I told Sal. It's nice to plan for A and then execute A and then see A come together successfully. And that was none of mine. Like, I may have had a hand in the very, very first part, but you guys made all the rest of it happen. And it's gratifying, to stand in the talk, as odious as that is all weekend. It's gratifying to see everything come together and watch in live, film on Aries and whatnot. You guys as the players and the commanders doing what we talked about, and then there's a hang up and everybody starts to bog down and you start to go, oh shit, but then, everything starts to move again and you see exactly what we talked about occur. And that's the best feeling as a commander. That's
Truth.
That's what I'm here for. This is how I have fun at this level. I was made for this. And this is how I enjoy playing airsoft. Some of you guys just like kicking doors and running around or driving vehicles, but this is where I get my rocks off, is sitting in the talk and watching plans that we all came together with be implemented successfully. That's where it's at.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the same for me.
Playing that chess, man.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, Toucan, you said something earlier, brother. You got to come back to it. Something in airsoft you didn't think you needed.
The unique experience, and to the delight of all event producers, having a customer say, be given a product you didn't know you needed. I was handcrafted experience that I didn't think I needed. No points. An event designed ultra specifically around the AO.
Yeah.
The untrampled snow, literally and figuratively, of the AO. And being so innovative with the event, no points. How about some boats? Like this. Well, I know we touched on the boats earlier. The boats weren't the make or break, but you had to be cognizant on the beach if a boat landing was going to be happen. That was always a never-ending threat. The roads and the terrain. You could be on one side of a hill. You could hear an engagement. I can either go to the peninsula and fight towards that sound, or I can crest the hill and see what fresh hell has been built on the other side. I mean, it was built differently. It felt different.
Mm-hmm.
The right leadership elements were picked for the event. The right people were picked down the line of all leadership, and everybody had a great attitude. And it definitely helped. The weather was ideal, and also the terrain itself looked like it was out of an old, like a 1790s Americana painting with the snow and the woods.
My dudes, this was the prettiest place. I don't know about you, Kim, but this is the prettiest place in 30 years I've ever set up a talk.
Agreed. Agreed.
I set it up and it was like, we're not going to get any work done out here.
When we were looking out through there, we're standing out there because, when we came in, we started setting our talk up and that, and we're sitting here looking out towards the dock and out over the lake, and we're like, look at this. It's like,
ridiculous.
Amazing.
Also, too, speaking of the beauty of the AO, the one thing that was impressed on all the players: do not shoot in the water. Do not shoot in the water. You saw the airsoft player Brand go, don't do it, as they're staring out into the abyss. I give everybody credit to that. I saw people go, no, like everybody listened to that, and then they just got dumbstruck just looking out at the picturesque landscape.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't avoid it. It was awesome.
You mentioned the boats. One of the neat things about we got to watch happen. You would see a boat, and this is where command and control really came into play. Communication. You'd see boats leaving and coming around a bend, coming around, one area, and you see units shift. Hey, they're coming. They're trying to land. And entire units would shift over there, and then you would see these boats go, oh, and then they would change their mind. It was a super fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it was really, really cool to see that happen because that was a real in-game, real world in-game shift. Like, here's the plan. Whoops, plan's not going to work.
Well, what's interesting is that guy gave specific orders to the boat captains. It was suggested to him, and he turned around and said, "That's a great idea." And the boat captains were like Vietnam-esque, false landings. Yep. Bait and switch.
I froze up again. Man. Damn it. Yeah, yep. that was a blast. One thing we did, we're like, you know what? Why don't you just fake like you're going to go over there? And they said we could do that, and then tell the captain we want to go over there, and then they would just shift gears. So it worked really, really well. So I thought it did some good.
I agree with Jax. We told people we did so much media leading up to this event to tell people you don't want to miss this one. You're going to want to be a part of it. And
this is the warm up.
Yeah.
Just wait till there's. I don't want to pop any bubbles, but go ahead.
No,
just wait.
You're right.
Just wait.
You're Werewolf. You're absolutely right. That kind of leads up into the.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, that leads up to next year, where we ended the Third Coast News Network slide that we sent out. You have Western holding Cazo because they managed to hold on to Casaville. Task Force Raven managed to seize Bow Beach at the end of almost literally at the end of the phase on Sunday. Sorry. And they've got their tiny little inlet where their talk was. That's all they got in Hibernia. And next year, there's going to be another park on the other side of the lake that's going to be Westland, And so we're going to go 3 parks next year. Obviously, you have
separate AOs.
Yes. And you have one of them, Werewolf. You secured the majority of Hibernia.
Good. I'm looking forward to taking the other 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Minus the small toeholds that the West will be able to use, and then West will have their own park across the bay, or their own country they got to defend, and then there'll be Grayland, where a whole other unaligned state that has never dealt with West or East will have to contend with both factions. Kind of going, is there oil over there? So. So there'll be, you'll have Grayland.
This leads to when you try to explain and explain again and then re-explain and spoken in Spanish that there were no points counted.
There was no 160,000, 170,000 Eastern.
What was the score, Sal?
No one can know.
No. Hold on. Let me dig my phone up because somebody sent me the point roster total just for curiosity. Godfather sent it to me.
It's time of possession. It's not points.
Yeah, it's time of possession, but he rolled up all the points. Yeah. So because he got tired of people emailing him and asking him, he's like, fine, here it is. It's 113,000 Western to 190,000 Eastern. Not that it matters. Yeah, it's a 70,000 point, it's where Western handled business. This was fought more like a war. This was more like the Ukraine.
It's a pass-fail standard, not a scoring system.
Right. And you know where you landed. You have a Pusan perimeter on Bow Beach, and at the Hibernian Naval Base.
Talking history now.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you've got a South Korea-like situation over in Casaville, where Cazo is Western. But it all doesn't matter because the march to Stonebreaker is on.
Sure is.
Yeah.
So,
what? If I could just what you said, sir. If I can just add to that, this was the most lively the feeling of being in a war, I think I felt at a milsim. This was it. Water elements, drone elements, the vehicles on the ground. Everything danced and worked so well
Yeah, we missed
to
you,
really
Dean.
make it feel alive. It was excellent.
Yeah, it was definitely for us. That was one thing. A lot of the guys were like, "Man," my talk staff was like, "Man," because we had the same shift as you guys did. Where we ended up losing Tim Bray. He had to do something, and then it just kind of trickled. So we moved everybody into position and started, and we got to work. But it was like, oh yeah, they're like, man, this is about as close as we can get. This is probably the best feeling that we've ever had.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
nonstop activity, nonstop.
For those of you that wonder, this is as close as I've been to a real military training exercise in tactical sports. Seriously. And I've been doing this for 25, 30 years about the paintball and the airsoft side. And this game alone, TCA is kind of up there in the standard anyway, but this game in particular was felt like an FTX or a training exercise. It was nice.
And with player feedback telling us that, we were really concerned going into this thing because there aren't a lot of buildings you can go inside. There was plenty of buildings you could fight around. There was the epic battle around the playground equipment over in Keithville.
Oh yeah.
A lot of action over in Collins. A lot of action around between Collins and Davie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Constantly,
Davie.
Davie was.
So we were really concerned that we're players going to have a good time not having buildings. We've done a wood ball game before, Dragon Rogue, 1 through 5, and you can only shove 250 players on that AO. So we were really worried. Hey, can we do 350? And will players, one, show up, and number two, will they enjoy themselves? And based on the player feedback, this is probably one of the best games we've ever put on.
Hands down.
Yeah, I've heard that from a dozen
sure.
different players already. So
yeah, and that's not the staff going, pat ourselves on the back and break our arms. Based on what we're hearing from the player base, I'm like, damn, we must have done a good job.
In that, so I heard it all day, every day. They're like, man, this is awesome. What do you want us to do?
And you get blamed on things you can't control. #weather. So
yeah.
But I'm very excited. In the pre-show, I said, "Man, this is one event where everybody must be tired because we haven't seen any media come out of this thing yet." But I know it's coming.
Yeah, they're probably everybody's home, getting home, working on everything, and hopefully
we're working on it.
We got our edits in progress.
Hopefully we'll see.
But what is Stonebreaker? Everyone's asking, hey Sal, what are you guys doing at Stonebreaker? Stonebreaker, man, is Stonebreaker. It is force on force. 3, 2, 1. Turn the box on. Let's watch. Now, there's a lot that actually does translate from Fury to Stonebreaker and Serious Viking. Back and forth. There is some tactics. There's some operational art. There is some strategy. And for the command teams, diving into it and going, well, this is kind of like a Crossbones. This is kind of like a Viking. This is like a Fury. You can start drawing parallels. You'll probably write off one objective completely and go, screw it. I'll assume risk and not put any troops there. And now you guys are more tuned to do it. So
truth. Yeah, gonna need that Warno.
Eric Lomax, dude, dude, right on, spot on, man. I heard that. I think you might have told me that. Dude, the lucky 13 that went out to reinforce commandos over in Cazo.
That was pretty wild.
I know you guys got dropped into a fun. Like, what are we doing? But you guys did well, man.
Yeah, that was Troy and his boys.
Yeah.
If nothing else, you could gauge the entire event based solely on the attitude across the board. You didn't hear a lot of grumblings. You didn't hear a lot of people getting shitty with each other. There wasn't a lot of the call your hits. There wasn't a lot of. No, it was great engagements, super good, super cool fights. Guys having a good time. Nobody was mad. we got in our chat, we had one person say, "Oh, this was terrible. We were stuck in one place forever." You're one guy out of 300 that had a problem. I'm guessing the problem was you.
Same person that probably said, leadership never told me what to do. I didn't know who my leaders were. Hey, Sal, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't read the op order.
My
But I
bad.
have a question.
I'll come to your
I have a
house specifically next time.
I have a question
You're
regarding rules.
Give you all the information.
I got a spoon. Hand feed you.
Okay. I mean, like I said, there's 31 flavors of Milsim. Try them all. Some are going to be your liking, some aren't. I know there were a lot of people who had reservations to come to this one. They were like, I don't know if I want to do this. You said new format. It's an iron series. What? I don't know, man. I think next year with 3 parks, with the boats, we're actually working on letting the technical, working with the state of North Carolina, let the technicals drive from park to park as required, and then working the helicopter to do a ring route to fly players from park to park,
which would be good. That's gonna be sexy, dude. I don't care.
We're shooting for the. I think I told the guys I'm shooting for the stars, hoping I hit the moon, but I'll be satisfied with hitting the sky. And big major thanks to Snick. If you guys
air mobile
Snick,
reinforcement from AO to AO, that's ridiculous,
right?
I know, craziness,
from
right?
Point A to Point B to C and so on. That's going to be wow. Everybody's already talking about it a little bit from your last mention.
And that won't be like it'll be new for us because we're not selling tickets to be a helicopter mission. We're trying to get as many players as we can on the bird or on a boat to get people to and from. So we're having to tabletop the shit out of that one, but that's a planning staff problem that my guys are like excited to like figure out. We had a lot of attention from outside agencies going, wow, holy shit, you guys are like this is amazing. We had a couple of park rangers play and they were like, this is crazy that you actually have a huge following. I was like, dude, this is only half the number of players we normally have.
This is a small game, dude.
The one guy was hanging with us. He was like, he followed me around all day on Friday just to talk about things and everything. And then, man, when he got into there, by the end, he had bought a weapon. He had bought extra gear.
He was all in.
He
got
like,
him.
Hooked.
Got any more than Milsims?
Spencer Williams. He was a good dude. One good dude right there. Hopefully, we'll see him soon.
I didn't get a park ranger assigned to me.
You did. He just did. He just didn't know it. He didn't identify himself to you.
He didn't come in the talk. He must have been skirt.
I think he might have been a Marine Corps veteran. He was like, "Yo, go to the talk."
Well, that was Spencer. That was that one that was hanging with us was a Marine Corps guy.
Oh yeah, that was But
I don't know about the other guy. I didn't know too much about him.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jax for losing the $100 bet to Werewolf Pilot.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
I laughed hard at that raffle.
That's okay.
Hey, everybody in the crowd, riddle me this about the talk. And Jax is like, dang.
He just bowed to you and saluted. Did the right
great,
thing. He's a good sport. Man.
Was it magnanimous in victory, humble in defeat?
There you go. Humble in defeat.
But okay, so final closing thoughts, man. Like Papa, Toucan, did we do this again? And Toucan, you did an op for me on Friday. What's up?
Okay, I actually had to bail on the op 4, unfortunately, to absolute regret. I had such an insane cluster migraine, I couldn't open my eyes. I unfortunately have nothing for you, sir. I apologize.
All right,
I owe you 2 op 4s.
We'll put you to use at Stonebreaker.
Sorry, but from what I heard from my friends that went, it was excellent.
Yeah,
crap!
I can vouch for them. I have the empty goodies powder packets scattered about the D train.
I bought 2 cans of prop blood, and I'm not afraid to use it.
No shit, there I was, knee deep in goodies powder.
Yep, hand grenades and hairpins. So Papa, do we do another one of these or what, man? What do we do, man? Is it something you think the next year is going to be bigger?
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. Listen, first of all, the AO itself, throw anything else away. AO is fantastic. You used it like it was built for this. Like you actually had to build the AO for the game. That's I mean, I really believe that was some of the magic right there. Was the terrain got used effectively, the vehicles got used effectively, every bit of planning was absolutely on point. The interaction from the staff to assist with the planning, you being in the planning groups to assist in the planning group, all of that made this absolutely. I mean, yeah, it tied everything
Shout out
together.
to Snick for putting in the
Yeah,
work.
big shout out
Shout
for
out to
Snick.
Snick.
Yeah. No, not to. I mean, I said it early on in the stream. Not to discount anybody else on the staff. Is what I'm saying. Steph, you hopefully all of your guys got all the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
It was this really was. It's hard to put your finger on the exact why, but without a doubt, every one of those elements made this an absolutely perfect event.
Hitting on all
Agreed.
Perfect event.
Boats on Sunday. Boats cut off Sunday. I missed
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Sorry.
I know I got shafted out of a Zodiac on Sunday. I want my
Yeah,
money
he,
back.
Yeah, when he rolled by us, he's like, I'm like, where are you going? He goes, I got to go up there. That was it. Last we saw him.
Yeah,
So
Werewolf, do we do another one of these or what?
damn right we do. Crank it up to 1,000
right.
members and get 3 AOs rolling.
there you go.
Oh my
You're gonna
God,
need about
hell
you're gonna need
Yeah,
about
listen,
200 staff members, I think. Or
I'll come
more.
back to that. I'll come back to that one in a minute.
I've commanded fold the gaps at 1,000, 1,200 members. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Archer, do we do another one or what?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
not?
you
I
know,
love it.
dude, I like doing this. Been hanging around with Jack since last February, right before Bone Crusher. So it's been a lot of fun to do these things just to help us out. If we don't have anybody underneath us listening and getting into this, they can watch these things and understand that, hey man, look at these guys. Let's go follow these guys and do some and have fun, whether they switch sides or stay on one side or whatever. That's the way to be. So this stuff is great.
Sal, if you don't do another one, I'm going to start promoting paint.
Oh, fired.
Hey, I
I
can't
stopped
say enough.
paintball years ago.
I can never say enough good things about the staff, but here's one for you. I was down 7 core staff
This past weekend,
this past
Dang,
weekend,
wow.
and
Yeah, he was shorthanded.
fired.
yeah. Well, I mean, family conflict, family emergency. We had to actually turn around and fly one guy immediately home. Everything's panning out right now. Another one got called in to work because his day job is with the U.S. Air Force, so he couldn't make it.
Can't say no.
Dozer couldn't. Mendoza couldn't be there. Tyler wasn't there. Desmond wasn't there. We were short 7 key staff. Chavi, the usual suspects. If you notice, it wasn't that they were working hard; they just couldn't be there. And a lot of them really wanted to be because they wanted to see this AO. They wanted to see this event.
Old Division showed up though.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
it was great.
That was great
Clutch,
to see him.
Clutch play by Division showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm here. What do you need? We need a boat captain." He's playing freaking sea shanties when the guys are on the boats. Those guys were having a blast, man.
Oh man.
And, but yeah, man, we it kind of took us back to the old days where it was only 7 staff trying to manage an entire crew. But it kicked off really, really well. Yeah, Stonebreaker, baby.
Stonebreaker?
Yep. It was on a good note, on another good note there. Yeah.
Yep. Tickets available. Buy them now, guys.
Yep. Get in.
$145 to get on the Huey, do an air-to-ground support and a follow-on-ground mission. Got to have a base ticket, though. Tier 1's got a mounted Tier 1. Coach convinced me that he's got an idea for a mounted lane.
Ooh.
And a dismounted platoon. So a mounted platoon, a dismounted platoon. He's like, we're going to use the whole AO for the
A
Tier
mounted
1.
platoon, like drop the ramp type stuff.
Vehicle supported. So we're going to shove some dismounts into every orifice on 3 vehicles. And then roll out and do stuff. And then the dismounted platoon will actually get on the ground. I'll call him back in a minute. All right. Josh Niles, if you're watching this,
Yeah, we're
I
talking
promise.
final mile.
Yeah,
We usually do a team dinner on Friday night, but I might have to forego that for this one and get on this get on this
That'd be a lot
lane.
of fun.
Hell yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't go wrong about that. I mean, I still go back to my first patch, going looking at Dragon Rogue 1 and getting on that one, and we were doing some serious vehicle recovery, and then we escort the vehicles back. It was so awesome. So I still remember that today, every day.
But yeah, we're super excited, dude. It's number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. 11. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I can't believe that's awesome. I can't believe it. That is amazing.
Yeah, good for you.
Oh.
Good for you. Keep it going, please.
Yes.
I'd do this every weekend if I could.
Right.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Quit my day job just to do this as a job would be awesome.
yeah.
Just saying.
So, any final closing words, anybody? You guys got anything left you want to say? Anybody want to drop anything out there?
Nope. Looking forward to flying the Eastern flag as Imperial 6 again for Stonebreaker. If you need a job, come talk to me. I'll put your ass to work.
Yep. Same for Western. I'll be there. We'll be flying the flag solid, and come join Western, because we got to get this guy down a notch again.
Yeah, he needs the numbers.
Read the op order.
Oh, we'll have the numbers.
Ready.
What I hear, we're going to have the numbers. I don't think we'll have problems.
My closing thoughts is don't be a panda. Read the op order. So
There's a patch up there. It says read the op. Did you even read the op board?
Yep.
Yeah.
I see it up there.
It's not that hard. Read it or have somebody read it to you. Easy. I mean, that's just.
Godfather wants to do an audio book and post it on Audible, and
Nice.
I'm like, dude, that'd be funny. I wonder how many people would actually like buy it.
Buy it and listen to
An
it.
audiobook of what?
Of the
op board.
TCA rules SOP. Because you can do that now, apparently. I mean, AI. We actually had AI read it in Chuck Norris's voice. It was fucking hilarious. So,
Well, you got to do that. Well, I don't know if you could do that on Audible, but it would be hilarious.
yeah.
All right, boys. So, with that, till next time, 2 weeks from now, and 4 weeks from now for Stonebreaker.
Getting ready for Iron Fury 3 and Stonebreaker 11.
Papa, I'll see you at Thunderdome, Papa. I'm looking forward to working for you.
Hey, yeah, Thunderdome. I've been
Thunderdome.
asked to come to that. I don't know that I can make it, but I'm hoping to see some good stuff out of what happens.
What's that, Thunderdome?
Yeah, I've been
Oh
told
my
I
God,
need
that's
to go.
a brawl, bro.
Jack said you need to go.
You need
I'm
it
like,
before you go. You need to buy stock in whatever company makes grenades, because it's insanity.
Hey, message from Snick to CRISPR. Hey, while you're at SHOT Show, grab some patches. All right.
There you go.
Grab me that wooden MP5,
CRISPR.
CRISPR.
Yeah, right.
So, all right.
All right, fellas. It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure. Good to see you, buddy.
All right, gentlemen, thank you again. Really appreciate you guys coming on. And until next time.